Hi students, as we have discussed earlier, the differential equation explains a physical system, and when we will find the solution of the differential equation, then we can predict anything and we can manipulate this motion as per our need. So now we will discuss the solution of this damped harmonic oscillations. In the last video we have discussed the d square x by dt square 2 beta dx by dt plus omega square x equal to 0. This is the differential equations of damped harmonic oscillation. That means this equation explains the whole system. And this is a second order differential equations. In mathematics, for the different differential equations there are different types of solution, and for this we have to, for this differential equations we have to first assume a solution. Then we have to find out the first derivative, second derivative, then we will put it, then we will find the solution, and by taking the solution then we can analyze the system in the different angle. So first, to solve these equations, first we have to assume let x in this equation, if this is a equation, means this is a problem, x is the solution, our objective is to find out x. So let's x equal to a to the power alpha t. Then this is the d square x by dt square, means double derivative of x, this is the first derivative of x, and this is the x. So x equal to this, then for dx by dt just a first derivative, a to the power alpha t equal to alpha e to the alpha t, as we know. And for the second derivative I can write d square x by dt square equal to alpha square a to the power alpha t. If you do the double derivative, then one alpha will come, it will be alpha square a to the power alpha t, this equation 2. Then here in the d square x by dt square, dx by dt and x, we just put these values. Then if you put this, we will find alpha square a double derivative alpha square a to the alpha t plus 2 beta dx by dt 2 beta alpha a e to the power alpha t. We put the value, then omega square and the x equal to a to the power alpha t. Then in all these three terms, we can find the common is a to the power alpha t. So we take common of a to the alpha t, then the equation become alpha square plus 2 beta alpha plus omega square equal to 0. If you observe this equation, you can find it is like a quadratic equation. So in this equation there is two terms, it multiplied to give 0. As it is amplitude, then it won't become 0, it won't be 0. It may decrease with time and finally it get to 0, but it won't be considered as a 0. Therefore this term becomes 0 to find the solution. So if we equate this with the 0, then this is like a quadratic equations, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This is the high school mathematics. If we compare, then you can find ax square. If you assume a equal to 1, then ax square x equal to alpha, we can consider the variable. Then bx, x is alpha, then b we can say it is 2 beta, then c, whatever the things are there in this position all are c, so we can say a equal to 1, b equal to 2 beta and c equal to omega square. For this quadratic equation x square plus bx plus c equal to 0, the solution we know x equal to minus b plus or minus b square by b square minus 4ac square root by 2a. This is the general solution of x square plus bx plus c. In the same way, for our solution 1 into alpha square plus 2 beta alpha plus omega square equal to 0, we can say alpha equal to minus b, means minus b equal to 2 beta, minus 2 beta plus or minus b square, b is 2 beta square minus 4, a is 1 and c is omega square, this is 4 omega square divided by 2a, 2a equal to 1, this is 2. So we find the solution alpha equal to minus 2 beta plus or minus, this is 2 beta square. If you open this will be 4 beta square and this is 4 omega square, and from this 4 beta square and 4 omega square, if we bring this 4 outside, then the square root of 4 will be coming 2. In these two terms it will be 4 beta square, it will be minus 4 omega square. So this 4 we can take common, we can write beta square minus omega square. So this 4, square root of 4 we can keep it to outside, it will become 2, and inside it will be beta square minus omega square. It will become 2 beta square minus omega square, we can find it here, and this is minus 2 beta, this is 2 coming out, and we have divided this by 2, the 2 we have to take a common of this 2, then we can cut it with the denominator and numerator, then we can find, we cut it 2, then we will find the solution minus beta plus or minus beta square minus omega square square root. Again, it is not a single solution, we are getting two solutions. One is alpha 1 equal to minus beta plus or minus beta square minus omega square of this quadratic equation, the solution. Another is minus beta minus beta square minus omega square square root. For this type of differential equation, if solution is coming in this way, then we can say the general solution of this equation can be written as e to the power minus this beta, e to the power minus beta into t, a1 e to the power beta square minus omega square square root into t plus a2 e to the power minus beta square minus omega square whole bracket t. This is the general solution of this equation. And here this a1, a2 are any arbitrary constant, any value we can assume this is a1 and a2. But if we observe carefully this solution, then we can find there is a term beta and omega, and we don't know what will be the value of beta and omega. Beta may be more, omega may be more, yeah, omega may be more, beta may be more. But how this beta and omega is related to this motion, let's discuss. So the behavior of damped oscillation depends upon this two factors. One is beta, another is omega. So beta is what we have discussed in the last video. 2 beta is nothing but b by m. B is the damping constant. Then this beta damping coefficient is related to b damping constant, and this b related to the damping force. And this constant we got from the damping force. If you can check, you can find. That means beta is related to damping force. Similarly, this omega square equal to k by m. This omega is related to k, and we know k is equal to the force constant, a spring constant, and it is related to the restoring force. So omega related to k related to restoring force. Then you can say k is related to restoring force. Then what does it mean? It is not beta omega, it is the damping force and restoring force. It is a play between damping force and restoring force. Hence, the quantity beta square minus omega square in the solution, they will give what will be the possible solution depending upon the value of beta square minus omega square. If it is large, if it is small, it is positive, it is negative, then what will be the solution? Let's discuss it. Hi students, we already got a general solution x equal to e to the power minus beta t, a1 e to the power square root of beta square minus omega square t plus a2 e to the power minus square root of beta square minus omega square t. And we stop there because we are not aware about what will be the value of beta square minus omega square square root. Now we have two parameters, one is beta and another omega, and as we discussed, beta is related to the damping force and omega is related to the restoring force. So there is three possible conditions. The first is whether beta square is greater than omega square, beta square is less than omega square, and beta square is mostly equal to the omega square. So if beta is more, this damping force is more. So if damping is over, this more than this restoring force, then it is called over damp. If damping more, it is over damp. This beta square greater than omega square. If damping is less, that is under damp, because damping less, therefore it is under. It is called under damp. And where beta square is almost equal to the omega square, we name them critically damped. That means we got the three conditions: over damped, under damped, and critical damped. So now these conditions only affect beta square minus omega square square root value. So if beta square is greater than omega square, then beta square minus omega square will be positive. If beta is more, suppose beta is 5 and your omega is 4. So 5 square 25 minus 4 square 16. 25 by 16 equal to 9. 9 square equal to 3. That means it is That means we got k is positive value. So we can write k1 is a positive value. Similarly, if we consider the underdamped conditions, in underdamped conditions, beta square is less than omega square. If beta is less than omega, suppose beta is 5 and omega is 4. So the beta square is less than omega square. Omega equal to 5 and beta equal to 4. Then it will be beta square minus 4 square minus 5 square. Means 60 minus 25, it will be minus 9. But here what we will do some tricks, we will take a common of minus. In the beta square minus omega square, I have taken a common of minus, so that in between omega square minus beta square. So now we know omega is greater than beta, so it will give a positive value. But this minus 1 square root, if we do, as we know in the complex number, square root of minus 1 equal to I, and omega square minus beta square will give obviously positive value. This positive value is k2, and we have named it k2 is positive. Here k1 is positive, here k2 is positive. Here beta square is almost equal to omega square. It is not exactly equal. If exactly equal, then it will become 0. Therefore, we have mentioned here it is almost equal to omega square beta. Therefore, their subtraction is very small. Suppose if one is 4.5, another is 4.4999. Though it is small, but it is exactly equal. So if you subtract, then you find a value of 0.00001. Because it is a very little small positive number. So we can write beta square minus omega square for critically damped condition. It is a small positive value. So all the k1, k2, k3 we got positive, a small positive. So if it is positive, then come to our solution x equal to the minus beta t whole bracket a1 e to the power. In place of beta square minus omega square, put this value. Then this solution for the overdamped will be e to minus beta t. It is there. It won't be affected by beta square minus omega square. But this condition e to the power minus beta square e to the power beta square minus omega square was there. Now I got the value is k1. So I put the value k1. Similarly, it was a2 e to the power beta square minus omega square root minus k1t. So the solution for overdamped is x equal to the minus beta t whole bracket a1 e to the power k1t plus a2 e to the power minus k1t. Similarly, if it is positive, the same rule e to the minus beta t a1 e to the power I beta square minus omega square root is k2. So k2t plus, sorry, it is the ik2, it is not k2, it is ik2. So we write instead of beta square minus omega square root, we write ik2t. Similarly, plus a2 e to the power minus beta square minus omega square minus ik2t. So here the solution is x equal to e to the minus beta t a1 e to the power ik2t plus a to the power e minus ik2t. But the thing is here the terms are in this imaginary form. So it will be difficult us to connect this solution with the real life problems. Therefore, we have to solve these things a little so that we will find a nice solution where we can analyze further. So here e to the power I theta we know cos theta plus I sin theta, and e to the power minus I theta equal to cos theta minus I sin theta. Just we open this e to the I k2t, just open cos k2t plus I sin k2t. As a1 is multiplied, then a1 cos k2t plus a1 I sin k2t plus this is e to the minus I k2t, means cos k2t minus I sin k2t. So if you multiply a2 with this, a2 cos k2t minus a2 I sin k2t. Then if you take a common of first and third term, cos k2t if you take common, then it is a1 plus a2. Similarly, for second and fourth, if we take a common of sin k2, then it is I a1 minus a2. So this a1 plus a2 and I a1 minus a2, thus what we will do, we will assume this a1 plus a2 as a sin phi, and this I a1 minus a2 equal to a cos phi. So instead of a1 plus a2, we put a sin phi cos k2t, a sin phi. Sin k2 is there. Instead of I a1 minus a2, we put a cos phi. We have written it here. It will we need this further. So we assume a1 plus a2 this and a1 I equal to a1 minus a2 equal to a cos phi. Then it will become cos k2t sin phi sin k to t cos phi. If you take a common, you will find sin phi cos k to t plus cos phi sin k to t. This is nothing but sin a plus b formula as we know. So we can write e to the minus beta t inside bracket a sin a cos b. So sin a plus b sin phi plus k to t. If you open this, then it will be sin phi cos k to t plus cos phi sin k to t. And this is the solution for underdamped oscillation. Now come to the critical damped. Here also some interesting thing is, if we put this value k3t, then we will find e to the minus beta to a1 e to the power k3t plus a2 e to the power minus k3t. Actually remember, this k3 is a very small value. K3 is a very small value. So if we expand it, as we know, expansion of the function e to the power x, it is 1 plus x by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus x square by 3 factorial. But here the term k3, it is a very small number. And if it is small number, x is very small, then if we expand, then x square will be further small, x square is further small. Just example, if you assume x equal to 0.1, then x square equal to 0.01, x cube equal to 0.001. That means if you go higher degree, higher power, the value becoming reduces. Therefore, in this case, the higher order tends to be 0 as x is small, and e to the power x become e to the power x equal to 1 plus x. Here, this k3 is small, and e to the power k3t, we can expand it and write 1 plus k3t, like e to the power x equal to 1 plus x, and e to the minus k3t, we can write 1 minus k3t. So this value 1 plus k3t 1 minus k3t of e to the power this thing we will put in the equation 7. So equation 7 will be e to the minus beta t a1. This e to the power k3t value will be 1 plus k3t, and a2 e to the power minus k3t value will be 1 minus k3t. Just to multiply, a1 into 1 plus k3t equal to a1 plus a1 k3t plus a2 into 1 minus k3t. That means a2 minus a2 k3t, and if you take a common of first and third, a1 plus a2, second and fourth, if you take common k3t, it is a1 minus a2. So here this a1 plus a2, we assume it is a3. Let a1 and a2 become a3 because it is a constant value, and a1 minus a2 become a4. This is also a constant. So instead of a1 plus a2, I wrote a3. Instead of a1 minus a2, I wrote a4. So now the solution become x equal to the minus beta t whole bracket a3 plus a4t. Just remember whatever we are assuming here, because we will need it later. This value, and here also what is sin phi and cos phi, because we need this. So now we got all the three solutions. So now the time come to analyze these things in the graph. So if, because whatever the main objective of this type of motion is solution of damped harmonic oscillation. Damped means amplitude is decreasing. So now in our three conditions we will analyze how this amplitude, how the displacement is decreasing with respect to time in terms of time versus displacement graph. We will analyze these three equations. Students, now we are in the final stage of the solution. Now we will analyze how the displacement varies with time. As we know, the displacement is reduced to 0 as it is damped oscillation, but how it is becoming 0? Whether for the three conditions they are following the same trend, whether it is different, let us discuss. As we know, this overdamped condition, beta square greater than omega square, and the solution was x equal to minus beta t, a1 k1t, a2 minus k1t, that we discussed. Underdamped, minus beta t, a sin phi k2t, and for the critical damped, we got e to the minus beta t a3 plus a4t. So now for drawing a graph, for drawing any graph, we need the x-axis and y-axis, and here in the x-axis we have to consider time, and the y-axis we have to consider the displacement, means how far the mass from the mean position during this oscillation. So I have drawn this three x-axis, y-axis for each of these conditions. Now first come to this. So when we are considering any graph, first we start, if I will put t equal to 0, then what is the x value? When I will increase the t, then what will be the x value? Accordingly, generally we plot any graph. So here, first at t equal to 0, what is the displacement for overdamped condition? Let's check. If I put t equal to 0, then in this solution put t equal to 0, it will be e to the minus beta into 0. And here also e to the power 0, e to the power 0. So what is the right? E to the minus beta into 0, open bracket, a1 e to the 0 plus a2 to the 0, e to the 0 is 1. So e to the minus beta into 0, e to the power 0, it is again 1. This is 1, this is 1. So a1 into 1, a1, a2 into 1, a2. Therefore x equal to a1 plus a2. So the solution of overdamped condition, the displacement value for overdamped condition are t equal to 0 equal to a1 plus a2. Now jump to this underdamped condition at t equal to 0. What is the displacement? That t equal to 0, similarly the displacement value x equal to e to the power minus beta into 0. Here also 1 0. So this inside the bracket a sin phi k into 0, it is 0, a sin phi e to the power 0 minus beta into 0, 0 1. That means we got a sin phi. You just check before, we have taken an assumption as a sin phi equal to a1 plus a2. Now put this value a sin phi here as a1 plus a2. So now we get at t equal to 0, this displacement for underdamped condition is a1 plus a2. Now come to this critical damp. Here at t equal to 0 e to the minus beta into 0, a3, a4 into 0, a4 into 0, 0, a3 is there, e to the power minus beta into 0 is e to the power 0, it is 1, now it is a3. Again go to the last assumption that we have taken. What is the value of a3? We have taken a3 is nothing but a1 plus a2, remember, and a1 minus a2 we have taken a4. So here as a3, again we have write a1 plus a2. That means at t equal to 0, whether it is overdamped or it is underdamped or it is critical damped, x is same, it is a1 plus a2. So in my graph, at x equal to 0, this is a1 plus a2. At x equal to 0, this is a1 plus a2. At x equal to 0, this is a1 plus a2. That means at t equal to 0, whatever this oscillations, it will start from maximum amplitude. The maximum displacement, it is a1 plus a2. This is the t equal to 0. If you consider t is a very high value, suppose t equal to plus infinity. T equal to plus infinity means for a high value of time, after a certain interval of time, what will be the displacement? At t equal to infinity, for overdamped, just put t equal to infinity, it will become e to the power minus beta into infinity. E to the power minus infinity, you know, it is the 0. Means 1 by e to the infinity, e to the minus infinity means 1 by e to the infinity, and e to the infinity, 1 by infinity equal to 0. So e to the minus infinity equal to 0. So if you put e to the minus infinity 0, then remaining whatever the term inside bracket, 0 into something equal to 0. That means for overdamped conditions at t equal to infinity, x equal to 0. Similar underdamped condition, so the same e to the minus beta into t. If you put t infinitive, this portion e to the minus infinity, it is 0. Whatever the bracket, let it, the multiplication will be 0. This at t equal to infinity, underdamped also giving this 0 amplitude at 0 displacement. In critical damped conditions also, same e to the minus beta into infinity is there. So if you multiply e to the minus infinity, it will again 0. Whatever the things, let it, but finally it will get 0. So what does it mean? Whether it is underdamped or overdamped or critical damped, for high time, their amplitude, displacement is 0. Amplitude I am telling, amplitude is generally no, it is the maximum displacement. So you can say displacement or amplitude here. So here at t equal to 0, the displacement was a1 plus a2. But for the high value, for the high time, you are finding the displacement equal to 0. The displacement equal to 0. That means we got 2 points at t equal to 0. And another is at a high value of t. But now the concern is how the trend, how this curve will attain the 0 value from a1 plus a2. How this at t equal to 0, whatever we are getting, a1 plus a2, how it will come to the 0. How this a1 value will touch to 0. How this a1 value will touch to 0, that is your concern. And here we can find the e to the minus beta t. It is responsible to bring the amplitude equal to 0 for high tide, for all the cases. But how it will come? We have to check the remaining part. We have to check the remaining part which multiplied with the solution. So here, the e to the minus beta t, it brings down this displacement 0. That means when it will come from a1 plus a2 to 0, it is exponentially it will decrease. Means exponentially means like exponentially it should be coming to 0 as e to the minus x is the exponential functions. So it will follow the exponential path. Exponential path means, as you know, exponential path means the curve is like this. This is called the exponential e to the power x curve. If you check, then you can find it is like this. So generally, exponential means it is e to the minus x I am talking about. It is like this. That means if you consider t equal to 0, it is like this. That means all will follow the exponential path. But how this exponential path will move with time? Here you can find it multiplied with the two exponential factor. One is plus e to the power x e to the k1t, another is e to the minus k1t. So if this is e to the power minus x and you consider plus x, if you consider this is e to the power x. So if you sum these two values, if this is 0, that means this is positive. So if you go ahead, then you can find if one is increasing, another is decreasing, but all this is in this positive colored axis. That means when it is decreasing, it is fine, but it won't decrease fast because some positive value is multiplying with this. So whatever decreasing will happening, but it will decreasing and adding with some positive value. Therefore, its decreasing will be slow. So it will decrease like slowly it will decrease, slowly it will decrease, and it will come like this. A1, A2 slowly decrease and it will come into this. Here it is exponentially decreasing, but it is multiplied with a sine curve. It is multiplied with a sine curve. But its starting point is A1 plus A2. And we know the sine curve is a oscillating curve. It will start with sine 0, 0, then 1, then 0, then 1, then 0, then 1. It will move like 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 like this. But it will reduce. Means e to the minus beta t will explain that the amplitude will decrease with time. The amplitude will decrease, but it will decrease with a sinusoidal curve. That means sine curve. That means we can say if this is maximum amplitude, then it will come to 0. Then it will come to the negative extreme. Then it will come to the positive extreme. Then the amplitude is decreasing, amplitude is decreasing, amplitude decreasing, decreasing, and with time you can find it is attaining 0. That means it is also attaining 0, but it is moving like a sine curve because sine curve is attached with this. And if you observe, here also you can find this values, the amplitude is exponentially decaying and it is coming to 0. And here you can see this e to the minus beta t. It is just, there will be no exponential curve, it is just having a constant and a t value. That means when t is increasing, this exponential factor it will increase fast because there will be no e to the positive values there which increases with the time. It is only if t equal to 1, then this exponential it will run faster. That means it will fall exponentially, but it will fall faster because there is no positive exponential term is multiplied with this. Therefore, it will fall, but it will fall fast like this. Suddenly it will fall. So what we got here? Here it is falling. We slowly like this. When I discuss example, then you got to know about this. And here this displacement also coming to 0, but it is coming with sinusoidal, and here the displacement suddenly fall. It is coming to 0, but not gradually. Suddenly it is coming to 0. So I am giving some examples so that it will be clear. The first example is here damping factor is very high. If the damping factor is very high, that means I told the damping it depends upon the medium. And if the medium is highly viscous medium, it is the honey medium. If you put a pendulum inside the honey, then if you bring it certain height and level it, then gradually it will come to this mean position and it doesn't have the more energy to go to the extreme left, because damping is so high. It won't allow this mass to go to the other extreme. It will gradually come and it will come to and displacement will become zero, and it won't go to the other extreme, because whatever the energy, it will be reduced by this highly damping force, a highly viscous honey. But if you consider the air, here when it is coming down to the equilibrium position, this mass, when this, if you consider this pendulum, when it is coming down, but it is not stopped at this equilibrium positions, because this medium is there, air medium, but it doesn't have that much of resistance like the honey. So therefore, it is again going back, again coming to this mean position, again going back, and gradually it is coming to zero. But in this case, if we consider if this is the pendulum, then this pendulum is coming here to the mean positions and take rest here. It won't go the other extreme. But here, due to the air medium, the displacement is coming back, again going other side, again coming in this way, it is attaining to zero. So now come to this critical damp. What I told you, here it is suddenly force, and the example is the dial of a voltmeter. Whenever we measure the voltage of any metal at the two end, then you can find when you are putting, then this dial, the tick of this dial, you can see if this is the voltmeter, you can find the tick. If this is the dial, then the tick of the dial, when you are connect the two end, suddenly it comes, you show the value, and when you leave it, suddenly it will fall to zero. It won't gradually fall. It is within the fraction of second. When you check this voltage, it will show a value, and when you leave it, suddenly it will fall. Because here this omega and beta, it is adjusted in such a way, when you are removing this to end, it is suddenly fall. So what we can conclude, here the amplitude is coming to zero gradually, here amplitude coming to zero suddenly, here amplitude coming to zero very fast. So if we plot all these three curves at a single graph, then we can say this is under damped, and if we draw this which is gradually falling, then we can say this is your overdamp, this is your underdamp, and this critical damp will suddenly fall. So it will suddenly fall. So this is critical damp. If exam will come, so all these three curves, underdamped, overdamped and critical damp, then you have to draw this figure. I hope whatever we discussed, all you people get it clearly. If really you learn something and you understand all the things clearly, please like this video, please subscribe this video, and if you want to help to your friends for this long process, and please share.